Hello guys, I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we are going to talk about passing values between the function. There are basically two methods for achieving it. The first method is call by value and the other method is call by reference. In this video, we are going to talk about call by value method. So let's begin. Now let's say I want to send a number to a function and that function will calculate the square of that number. To make it, first let's say that I want to send to the function value of 5. Okay, so during calling I will write here 5. Okay, this is the calling of function sq5. Okay, and here it is its prototype, right? So if we see here the data type of 5 is integer, right? And our function should accept the value of data type integer, right? Since it is 5 and its data type is integer, our function must able to accept the value of data type integer. Okay, so in its prototype we will write here int. Okay, and in its definition we will make some variable. Okay, let's say the variable is a. Okay, and its body. Now whatever I am sending from this location will be assigned to this variable. Okay, so here a will become 5 now, right? And now if I write here printf of %d a, it will give me output as 5, right? And let's say I want to print the square, then I will do a asterisk a and it will give me output as 25, right? The point here is that from here I am sending some values. Okay, the kind of values is its data type and I have to define here which data type the function should accept the value. Okay, currently it is integer. Now let's say that there is another variable of character type c equals to, let's say the value is a, and I want to send now c also. Okay, so I'll write here 5 comma c. Okay, now the data type for c is char. It is character. So I will also have to define in its prototype that the function must accept the values of data type character. So with this I will write here char also. Okay, and here also char, and let's say the name of our variable here is t. Any variable name can be taken here. Okay, here we only write the data type and here data type with the variable name. Okay, now what will happen when I am calling this function, 5 will be assigned to a, so a will become 5 and c, t will become equals to c, which is the value of c is a, so t will become a now. Okay, so here now I write here printf of %d and %c and t, then it will give me output as, what will be the output? Currently value of c is a, so it will give me output as a. Okay, so this is how we are able to send the values to a function. First here we have to write values, which values we want to send, then whatever values we want to send according to its data type in its prototype we will write there, and then we will make also some variables in its definition. Okay, another thing is that here the values which I am sending are called the arguments. These are known as the arguments, and these variables which I am making during the definition of function are known as the parameters. Okay, now let's see why this method is known as the call by value method. Now let's say there is a function named fun who will accept the values of type integer. Okay, and in its definition I made a variable as a. Okay, let's say there is a variable defined here, let's say t equals to, and the value is 10. Okay, so what is happening here right now, that a memory location will be allocated to a variable. Okay, so here t will be 10 and some address will be given, and the address will be, let's say, could be any address, we don't know, let's say the address is 1402. Okay, then I am calling the function, let's say fun, and I pass t here. Okay, so now a will be, now a will be equal to the t, okay, or equal to the 10. But before that, when I am declaring or defining a variable here, it will also be allocated with some memory, right? So here it will also have some address. Let's say end of a, and the address is 2206, okay, 2206, right? And I am writing that a equals to t now. So a is equals to t, or we can say a is equal to 10, okay. So simply a is right now 10, okay. Now if I write here printf of %d a, it will give me output as 10, right? Then I'll write here a equals to a plus 5, and then I again write printf of %d a, then it will give me output as 15 because incrementing by 5, okay. Here if I write first printf of %d t, it will give me output as 10, right? After the calling of the function, if I write here printf of %d t, now what will be the output it should give me? It will give me the output as 10, not 15. Now the point here is that whatever changes I am making in the parameters will not be reflected back to our arguments, okay. These are the parameters, these are the arguments. Again, whatever changes I am making in the parameters, okay, here was the change, our change, okay, the value of a was changed here. So whatever changes I am making in the parameters will not be shown in our arguments list, okay. So t will stay with the same value as I defined in this function, okay. Why it is so? Because both a and t are pointing to the different memory location. We are assigning just the value, okay. So whatever the changes I am making here is reflected in this memory location. For example, here if I write a equals to a plus 5, then it will become 10 plus 5 equals to a will become 15, okay. Nothing, it is not related to this memory location. Both are the different memory locations. So whatever changes I am making in that memory location will not be reflected back in the back from where it is called, okay. Remember that whatever changes I am making in the parameters will not be shown back to our arguments, okay. And this here is known as the call by value, okay. First point of call by value is this, and another thing is that call by value because here I am sending some value, not any address, okay. In call by reference method we will see that I will be sending the address, okay. So 2 points, that here we send the value, and when I send the value, the changes are not reflected back. In call by reference method we will see that any changes made in the parameters will be shown in this in the argument. We will talk about call by reference in next video. Now let's make a program to understand this concept in a better way. Now let's make a function to calculate the area of a rectangle, right? So to calculate the area of a rectangle, 2 inputs will be given to our function, okay. Now let's say the name of our function is area, and it will take 2 input, okay. So both input will be of integer or float type, we can say, but let's say we are taking the input as integer type, okay. And it will calculate the area and the return type, and what it will return as the value of the area. So return type will be int, okay. Then in its body we will write int area. Let's say the variable name of first variable is s1 and then s2, okay, as this for the side name, first side and second side, okay. Then what it will return? It will return s1 asterisk s2, okay. Now here let's say the sides are s1 is 2 and s2 is 4, okay. Then I will call this function area, okay, with the value s1 and s2, right? And I can also write it inside the printf statement, printf %d area s1 and s2. Now whatever will be the return type or whatever this function will return, it will be printed back here, okay. So here let's say the values are sent here 2 and 4. So S1 will become 2, S2 will become 4. Okay, then it will calculate 2 into 4, it will become 8, and here this will return us 8. So its final statement could be like printf %d 8. So our output will be 8 now. Okay, we can also make it something like this. Let's say here I make another variable, let's say c, and in its value I am writing c equals to s1 asterisk s2 and return c. Okay, there is no problem in that. It will also give us the 8 as an output, right? Another thing that we can do here is that instead of making it return type of integer, I will write here void. Okay, void, and then I will write here printf %d and then c. Okay, it will also give me output as 8, right? And then I can write simply return, or there is no need to return. Okay, we can use the return keyword here, but note that since we are using the void return type, I cannot return any value. Okay, only return keyword can be written, but no value should be here. Okay, if there will be some values, then our compiler will generate error. Okay, so I can simply write return but no value here. Okay, then from here I will call this function area and the values with the values s1 and s2. Okay, so the final output will be here also 8. Okay, the use of return keyword is that it will terminate the execution of our function and the control will go back from where it is called. Okay, for example, here after it will encounter the return keyword, it will go back here. Okay, or if I say here, let's say here it is return and then I will write here printf OK. Okay, then what is happening is that first this function is called, this will be calculated, then the output will be 8, then it is encountering the return keyword. Okay, as soon as it will encounter the return keyword, following statements will not execute. Okay, and the control will go back to where from it is called. Okay, this is the calling. Okay, so the use of return keyword is to terminate the execution of our function and to make the control go back from where it is called. Okay, so that's all for today guys. I hope you like the video. If you have any doubt, please comment it down. Thanks for watching and I have to see you in the next video.